This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, this is Annie Pocklington here with the Health Professional Loan Repayment Programs to give you a webinar on our new application process for the 2019 cycle and give you a quick demo of the site pre-approval application. The Washington Student Achievement Council has been established to advance educational opportunities and attainment in Washington State. The Health Professional Loan Repayment Programs are under this mission. So we have two programs based out of WASAC. One is the state program, the Health Professional Loan Repayment Program, often referred to as HEPLRP, and the other is our federal state program, the Federal State Loan Repayment Program that we often refer to as FSLRP. So both of these programs were established to address healthcare workforce shortage issues in the state. In exchange for service at an eligible site, participants are repaid for their outstanding educational loans. For more general information on these programs, please feel free to visit wasac.wa.gov/health. So the intended audience of this webinar, we are hoping that if you're here, you're an authorized site representative that is here to get some info on the site pre-approval application and a general overview of how our application process is changing for the 2019 cycle. So you should be an HR staff or other site personnel with appropriate authority to submit this application on behalf of your employer and your organization. You'll also serve as a point of contact for important program communications. So if you are signing up and completing our site pre-approval application, just know that a lot of our program correspondence will go to you directly. If you have any more questions about what an eligible site looks like and who an authorized site representative may be, feel free to check out section 2, page 4 of our updated program guide, which is listed on our website. So a little bit about what we're going to be getting into today. I'm going to give you an overview of our new and improved application process for the 2019 cycle. So not only an overview of that, but why it's a benefit to you and how what you and your providers will get out of the new application process. And then I'm also going to give you a site pre-approval application demo. So we are really excited about our simplified application process that is just launched this week. The site pre-approval application went live October 3rd. So essentially our new application process is broken up into 3 steps. Step 1 is your site pre-approval application. This is when the site representative or site HR is going to come in and hope to get their site pre-approved for our programs. So you are going to provide minimum qualifications that we will review on our end. Once we've reviewed this application, we publish a list of pre-approved sites. And in step 2, the provider can apply under one of those pre-approved sites. The provider application looks very similar to how it's looked in the past. So just a quick update for you there. Step 3 is exciting because it's only completed by site HR if a provider has applied under your application. So again, this is a simplified process. We're hoping that you only have to give us minimum qualifications in the first step. And then step 3 is when you get into nitty-gritty details and give us some more detailed information we need. So in this step, you'll be confirming the provider application details that they presented in their provider application, and you'll also be providing more detailed information around the physical site that they applied under. So what is site pre-approval? Sites that meet minimum qualifications are granted pre-approval status. So not only do we let you know if you've been pre-approved, but we're also going to let you know if you're HEPLRP eligible in this step, or if you're both HEPLRP and FSLRP eligible. The site representative will be notified of pre-approval or denial by email, so you'll definitely want to make sure that you're checking your email regularly after we have reviewed your application. So once we reviewed your application, we'll shoot you an email letting you know of your status, and we're also going to update our pre-approval status list online to reflect the fact that you've been approved. The exciting thing about this step is that pre-approval lasts for 3 years, whether or not a provider applies. So if you're applying in the 2019 cycle, your pre-approval status will last until 2021. So we're really excited about that. Upon the expiration of that date, you will be notified to reapply. So a little bit before the site app goes live in 2021, we're going to send you an email and let you know that your status is about to expire and you should be reapplying in this next cycle. Once you've been pre-approved, like I mentioned, this pre-approved site list goes live on our website. So this will be published on our website by the end of October, and it's going to be updated throughout the cycle with sites added upon their pre-approval. So if you are applying before the end of October, just know that your site may not be listed on the website right away. Again, that isn't launching until the end of October, so a little bit of a delay for the early birds in this site pre-approval process. The pre-approved site list has three primary uses: recruitment, for provider application, and site changes. So we're excited that because your pre-approval lasts for 3 years, providers looking for employment at sites that are pre-approved under our programs can now do that. So they can seek you out based on this pre-approval status using the pre-approved site list. Providers who are applying are also going to utilize this list just to make sure that their site is pre-approved and that they can apply. And then it's also going to be used for site changes. So if you have a provider at your site or a provider working elsewhere that is making a site change, they can use this list to make sure the site they're moving to is a pre-approved and eligible site. All right, the provider application. So the provider application is scheduled to go live December of 2018. This is really important to relay to providers at your site if they're interested in applying, because this is a bit earlier than we've launched in the past. So just a heads up that the provider application is scheduled to go live December 2018. Providers are only eligible to apply under a pre-approved site. The provider application no longer includes an employment verification form. So in the past, providers have had to print off an employment verification form that they fill out, sign, and then have their site HR representative fill out. This is no longer a step in our provider application. Employment specifics will now be verified in step 3, the site certification step. So just a heads up to your providers if that looks any different than it has in the past. So what is the new site certification step? We are excited. The site certification step is only to be completed by the site representative if a provider applies under the site. So we've saved the site certification step for step 3, so you only have to provide us detailed information about providers and about your physical site if a provider is applying under your site. So the representative who completed the site pre-approval application will be notified by email when a provider applies. When they're notified by email, they'll be able to either certify that individual provider or reassign the certification process to someone at the provider's site that better represents that individual. So this may be a bit confusing. If you have any questions, please feel free to let us know. But we've essentially added in this step for parent organizations, so big organizations who have one HR representative filling out multiple site pre-approval applications. They're able to hand off step 3 to certify individual providers at the physical site level. So just a heads up, again, if you do have questions, we're happy to give you more details if you want to call in. In this third step, the HR professional is going to be verifying information that the provider entered in their provider application. So things like hours, where they're seeing patients, etc. And they're going to also give us some more detailed information for scoring purposes about the physical site locations. All right, so the site pre-approval is live. It launched on October 3rd, and it closes at 5 p.m. on November 16th of 2018. If you need more information, again, please feel free to reach out to us or to visit our website. That's www.wasac.wa.gov/health. The application cycle announcements are posted in our announcements box at the top of that page, and there's also a link to the application there. So for those of you who don't know, our announcements box is new, and it's going to be updated regularly with program information, specifically around timeline things. So if things seem to be running late or you're wondering when you're going to hear back about a certain decision or thing, we recommend checking out that announcements box posted at the top of our webpage. This is a tentative timeline for our application cycle of this year. So here we are in October of 2018, and the site pre-approval application is live. Again, that is going to be open until November 16th of 2018. As you complete that pre-approval, we'll have rolling notifications, so you will be notified of your pre-approval status. In December of 2018 is when the provider application will launch, and that will go until January of 2019. From January through March of 2019 is when that step 3, the site certification step, will be happening. And then starting in May and going through June is when we'll begin notifying providers of their award status. And of course, per usual, our new contracts begin on July 1 of 2019. So the site pre-approval application is now live. We encourage you to visit our website and go and fill that out. It's always nice to be an early bird and ahead of everyone else. So it is now live. Feel free to apply. We also have application cycle timeline updates, as mentioned previously, in our announcements box on the webpage there. We also encourage you to read over our new combined program manual. So in the past, as many of you know, we have had a HEPLRP guide and a FESLRP guide. This year, just to improve accessibility, we've combined those guides into one program manual, and the differences between the programs are more directly addressed within that guide. So read over that new combined program manual. We're really excited about combining that this year. And then, of course, if you have any questions, we encourage you to reach out to us. Chris Wilkins is our program manager. She's happy to answer questions, as am I, Annie Pocklington, the program coordinator. All right, so now we are going to jump over into the site pre-approval application demo. So this is our site pre-approval application landing page. This landing page will be similar through all steps of the process. As you can see, this blue outlined box here is kind of like the "you are here" on a map. It shows you what step you're at. So we are at the sites apply and request pre-approval status step. So I'm going to click into this, and it's going to take me into the site pre-approval application. All right, so I am going to enter my details here. Really important to get your email correct here, as you are going to be the point of contact. So just double check. All right. You'll see that if something is off, you're going to get this red kind of warning outline around the box that you're completing. So that's what that will look like. Once you're done with a section, you're going to get this green message that lets you know the section is complete. So it looks like my contact information is complete and I can move on. So next, if I have a parent organization, I would dive into this portion. So I would click Add a Parent Organization. I just want to emphasize what a parent organization is and remind you of that. A parent organization is defined as the administrative headquarters and/or overarching identity of multiple dependent practice sites, responsible for formally providing and protecting resources for its practice sites. So some examples of parent organizations would be Confluence Health, public hospital districts, CMAR, bigger organizations like that. So if you had a parent organization, this is where you would fill in the name, the mailing address, the city, and the zip code. So I'm going to act as if I don't have a parent organization, and I am just going to jump down to the practice site basic information. So a practice site is defined as the physical site where services are offered and administered. So I'm going to enter in the name of my site, my physical address, my city, and my zip. So one thing that's important to note is there is no state box. Oftentimes when you're entering an address, of course, you do city, state, and zip. We just want to remind you of this because we do have zip code and then zip +4. So we don't want you to accidentally enter WA into the zip code. So just a heads up there. All right, and then I'm gonna scroll down, enter my county. If my mailing address is the same as the physical address, I'm just gonna click this box. If not, I have the opportunity to enter in the new mailing address or the different mailing address. All right, so then you're gonna get down to the UBI number portion. When you enter in the UBI number, it's gonna be that 9-digit number. we've added a link so that you can find your UBI number. So once you get to this page, you're going to jump over to the left-hand side and click on Business Lookup. And you're going to be able to enter in your business name. Wasac doesn't have one, so I'm going to enter Olympia School District. So if you do have multiple sites, what might be nice is to enter your parent site organization here and then the physical site street address. The reason for that is because we're looking for the UBI as well as the location ID. And the location ID is going to be different for each individual location. So here's the UBI number I'm searching for, and then two columns over is my location ID that I'm going to enter in. So that's how you utilize this search tool to find your UBI. All right, so I'm going to enter my UBI and then my location code. All right, and there's my green message letting me know that this information is complete. And then I'm going to hop down to general criteria. So I'm just answering yes or no to these questions. I'm going to skip over one question to show you what happens. If I miss a question, this is not going to start orbing in green. So I do need to make sure that I'm answering everything. All right, and I have the green light. And then I'm going to jump down to federal state specific criteria. So here's where I answer the more federal state specific questions. So these 3 questions are important to note. You're answering, does your site have a primary care HPSA score greater than 0? So you're answering this for not only primary care, but also dental health and mental health. It's important to note that these questions are asking if your site has a score greater than 0. So not only do they have a score, but is it greater than 0? All right, I got the green light to go ahead. And then I'm going to jump down to site types here. I am going to select the site type that best characterizes my site. So I'm going to read through all of these. Because I'm at Wasac, I'm going to say I'm a state institution. Awesome, I've got the green light and I can keep going. And then the last question is, does your site employ any of the following provider types? This question is really important because you need to check all that apply. So make sure you really read through this list a few times and make sure you're selecting every provider type that you employ. We would not want for any of your providers to be barred from the provider application because you did not select their site type or their provider type, excuse me. You'll notice that once you click one, it's letting you know that this is complete. But again, you're really going to want to read through that list and make sure you're selecting all that apply. All right, and then once I'm done, of course, you'll want to review your application once or twice, make sure you're submitting correct information. And then I'm going to click this submit button here. And it's going to let me know that my application has been submitted. We're going to review your application on the back end on our side and publish that pre-approved site list as well as shoot you an email. So just a heads up on that again. For any updates on the health professional loan repayment timeline, we encourage you to visit our page. And then if you are a site that is an overarching parent organization and you're filling out multiple applications, we encourage you to utilize this site pre-approval application button that allows you to start a new application and reuse some of the information that you submitted. So I'm going to pretend that I do have multiple sites and I'm going to click this button and it's going to bring me back to the site pre-approval application with some of my information already filled in. So just a nice little feature for those of you who are submitting multiple applications on behalf of a parent organization. So that concludes our site pre-approval demo. We're really excited that you guys joined us today and really excited about this new site application process. Again, we encourage you to contact us if you have any questions. Otherwise, thanks for joining and hopefully we talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye.